I think city of Hangzhou in China is the best environment-friendly place I have ever lived. And what attracted me most was the very quiet atmosphere of the entire city. Any part of the city, if you walk around, in fact, this 8.6 million population city, your heartbeat will not even rise even by a degree. It is calm and composed. This kind of experience I have never seen even in a small city where the population is something like 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs. It is always noisy and very, very perturbing. I would say in Kenya, there is a place called Masai Mara, and this is actually the one end of the world famous animal migration route starting from Serengeti in the Tanzania to Masai Mara in the Kenya. Here there is a 6 months long animal migration, and in Masai Mara if you go, you will find there is actually habitat in which different kind of animals, human beings all live in extremely good harmony. They do eat leopards and lions, eat lesser animals, but only when they are hungry. Rest of the time, you find they all live together, move together, graze together, and this is a wonderful thing. And they also, many people actually move around, mostly in vehicles, but no wild animal has ever attacked any one of these people or the vehicles. This is actually, the birds are there, kind of insects are there, water is there, short bushes are there, and all kinds of living things manage together peacefully. I think this is a good lesson that in spite of differences, we can all live together. Well, even though it is something nostalgic, this is actually an incident which has left a lasting impression and a change in my attitude to environment. This happened in Singapore in 1980. I traveled by a bus. On getting down, slipped the ticket onto the road. I was trying to get onto the footpath where few school children were actually waiting, looking at me like a wild animal. I couldn't understand why that kind of a face for these small children. Then I just looked around and I found that on the road, but for the single ticket that I had dropped, there was no other dirt. I thought this could be the reason. I just bent down, picked it up and looked up again at their face. They were all beaming with a very approving smile, and I learned the first environment lesson from there. That was probably very, very an important message to me as far as environment is concerned. Most important environmental issue that the world is facing right now is the impending water shortage. This is going to affect our agriculture and also food security due to that. And of the many countries which are actually overdrawing their water renewable capacity, India is one which is almost at the second level of seriousness, acute scarcity almost at the doorstep. This is going to affect us very seriously, and even in Kerala, this is going to be a very major issue in spite of our 3 meters of rainfall every year. The solution is probably to utilize water resources more wisely, not only for our own personal use, but for agriculture and other things by using micro irrigation and other techniques. At the same time, also not polluting water bodies to the best of our abilities. Well, I live in Trivandrum, the capital city of Kerala state. The most important problem that I find is how carelessly we treat the urban solid waste and the liquid waste. We try to wait for a technology that is going to solve this overnight, and we wait thinking that the technology is yet to come. But in fact, urban solid waste is a combination of 4 components. One, the putrefying organic waste, other one, the inorganic waste. Both these contain energy, and it is possible for us to take energy back from it. A third component is plastics, batteries, and so many other toxic materials which have to be separately collected and separately handled. And the fourth one is the mounting e-waste like abandoned mobiles, unused computers, and so many other electronic devices, which again has to be handled in a very separate manner. I would say way back in late 70s and early 80s, pollution of river Chaliar, Calicut, where industrial effluents were actually trying to kill the fish population and the villagers being affected in multiple ways. This was actually one of the most painful things, continued for several years. Yet another incident which actually touched my heart, which I saw in some villages in Sudan, where I found on donkey back, one or two girls will actually come with two earthenware pots, one each in their hands. They get down to a stream, collect water and go back. I was looking at the water, which was almost like our Kerala mixed tea, and I was asking my friends what these people are going to do with this water. They said it is for their drinking. How? The answer was that they have two pots. Today's pot will be kept in one corner of the house. After settling, next day they are going to use this, and today they are going to use what they kept yesterday. This is a very pitiful situation of drinking water in a country which is of course well known for the desert there and the water scarcity, but the level of drinking water scarcity to this degree was something which moved my heart very, very much. Well, I think we should take from the nature only what we need. And when having taken something, we should look back and see whether what is left there remain sustainable forever. And we should also see whether what is left is in what state. And if it is not in a sustainable state, we should try to restore it before we have actually stopped our exploitation.